November 20th, 2016. You're listening to the Line Sports Talk Podcast. No sense in pissing around tonight. We finished week 2 of the NFL season. Let's just jump right in. We got a lot to talk about. Joe, what's happening there?
Oh, I don't know. Just pondering my thoughts here and thinking, what a nice day it is today. And the other thing is, newsflash, Jay Cutler sucks. And I think we can officially say that now. Yeah,
you can. You can officially say that Jay Cutler blows. Not a good quarterback, not a leader. I saw one of his teammates who's on the PUP list. I can't think his name's escaping me, but he lives.
Pernell McPhee.
Yeah, thank you. Did you see that video?
I sure did. I'm sure Jay Cutler was scared shitless.
Yeah,
I tell you what, man, I was scared for Jay Cutler watching that big old boy blow up.
Yeah, McPhee was not real happy about what was going on there. And I don't know what he said to Cutler, whether he was trying to light a fire under his ass or whether he was telling him, God, we're sick and tired of watching you drag your droopy-ass face up and down the sideline. He just is never happy.
You can see Jay Cutler just coming off the field, like, shrugging his shoulders. Hey, well, I tried. No big deal.
Yeah, did my best. Just the body language just sucks. It just sucks.
Not a winner, man. Not a leader.
Yeah, he's just not a leader. But he looks to me like he just can't wait to get his next paycheck and go home. You know what I mean? He just doesn't show anything that would be.
Clearly looks like he's out there. He is somebody who plays. It's like we've discussed before. Somebody who has a good job but they hate it. That's what he reminds me of. He's there because it's great money. Otherwise, he would not be there. He's not passionate about it. He does his job or attempts to do his job, and then he goes home. He has no passion for his work. It does not look like this is what he wants. He wants the glory. Like I said, he just doesn't have that it factor. This seems like he doesn't care.
No enthusiasm whatsoever. So, watching that game last night, what do you think of Carson Wentz?
Impressive, but at this, on the flip side, not to be totally cynical, congratulate the kid. He played a great game. But on the one hand, though, he played the Browns in I'm going to just go out on a limb and say going to be very bad Chicago Bears team.
Yeah.
So so far so good. I mean, you play who's on your schedule. That's the defense that lined up against you, and you did well. But I would like to see him go up against one of a better team, a better defense. And when he gets into the division schedule, the nitty-gritty of having to go against the Giants, the Cowboys, the Redskins in that division, how he fares, I'd like to see him step up to that and see what he can do. But so far, so good.
You're going to find out for sure, but I do have the feeling that by the time this season is 17 weeks old, you are going to see the draft order for next season show itself, and you're going to see Cleveland and Chicago right there at the top. With potential 1 and 2 draft picks. Those two teams look just awful. Feel bad for John Fox because he's been there a while. Hugh Jackson, I don't feel bad for him yet. He hadn't been there long enough, but he's going to take their beatings too.
No, we knew it. Hugh Jackson knew what he was getting into when he signed that contract. He knew it was going to. And I think everybody's going to look at it as nobody's going to blame Hugh Jackson. I don't even think you should blame Hugh Jackson if this team goes 0-16 this year. We expected as much. You have to give the man. We were saying with this team and the way this needs to rebuild, I'd say you need to give him 4 years.
You do, and I'm glad you said it because I was going to say it, and I'm the eternal optimist about all this shit, and that's where I take my beatings from everybody else. But yeah, I think he does. He needs 4 years. It's not fair to say, all right, you got 17 weeks, a lousy team. You can't make chicken salad out of chicken shit, and that's all he's got there. He's got nothing there. Nothing. He got a little bit to work with, but I think that they've all got to be kicking themselves for trading away that pick and not taking Carson Wentz. That's a mistake. I know it's 2 games, and I know you can't crown him yet, but that's a mistake.
It is, especially when you basically just said we can make something. The saying that you can make something out of RG3, and I know that's what Hugh Jackson thought. Let's build a team around a quarterback. Then we'll wait to draft a quarterback, and let's just get the most out of RG3. He thought he took a gamble on that, or the Browns took a gamble on that. They thought they could pull it off. It just goes to show RG3 just can simply not play anymore.
Yeah, no, his career by all accounts should be over with. He stinks.
No, his career is over. I don't see any way, shape, or form that he is a starting quarterback in the National Football League ever again. I just can't see it.
Now, hold on, though. He could probably have a baseball tryout in the next couple of weeks.
Hey, if Tim Tebow can do it.
It's possible.
Yeah, but here's the thing about RG3. everybody loves. Everybody has this little. It's almost sickening. Everybody has this love affair with Tim Tebow, and it just seems like universally nobody likes RG3. RG3 is not beloved. Where Tim Tebow and some people like me just are like, okay, I've had enough. I don't care about this mythical halo that's over Tim Tebow's head. Some people just, and I know people in your neck of the woods especially, just make you want to puke about Tim Tebow. So
yeah, it's a little much. It's definitely a little much, but I don't dislike Tim Tebow. He's never given anybody really.
I don't dislike him. It's the people who like him and that talk about him and glorify him are the people make me have disdain towards Tim Tebow, not him himself. He's just being him, I believe. But
yeah, he is. He really is. I don't care about any of it personally. Yeah. So terrible Monday night game. Are we going to be? I don't even haven't looked that far down the schedule to see what the Monday night lineup looks like the rest of the season. I know next week division game Atlanta New Orleans might be a pretty decent one, but I recall in years past just being put to sleep with these awful Thursday and Monday night games. At least this Thursday we have a pretty good matchup, is what we thought was going to be for week 3, but that game all of a sudden turned to shit overnight.
Yeah, when Jimmy Garoppolo went down on his shoulder, and let's be honest, Jimmy Garoppolo looked damn good.
He sure did.
It was one of those things. I mean, when Tom Brady, there's no discussion like they're having in Dallas right now with how well Dak Prescott has played thus far. When Tony Romo comes back, is Dak Prescott still your guy? Is Jason Garrett going to put in that position where he's going to pull a Bill Belichick from years past with the Brady Bledsoe situation? But in New England, I mean, there's no debate. Brady's back. Brady's playing. That's that. But
Thursday night. Let's do a quick breakdown of this Thursday night game. It's Houston traveling to New England. The Patriots are now a home dog, 1.5 points. But this isn't the same underdog scenario that it was when they were traveling to Arizona and getting 7 points with the Jimmy Garoppolo, who had practiced all summer long to start that first game. Now you got a guy in Jacoby Brissett who I watched the second half of that Patriots game the other day. You want to talk about a playbook being diced in half. That playbook went from probably 40 plays down to 4.
No, because if you had asked Jacoby Brissett if he was ever going to play this year, he would have looked at you like, get out of here. No, I'm not. I'm not playing this year. Mm-hmm. I can't even blame the kid. He's not ready. He's thrown into it like, oh shit, I'm actually going to get to play this year. And I'm going to start a football game this year. But how crazy this has worked out.
He did the bare minimum, but yeah, he was not prepared to be in that game, or he was as prepared as he expected to be as a backup quarterback. I have read that Garoppolo was just limited today in practice, which means he probably is getting some work. If I had to guess, he's jogging and not much else, just trying to run it off a touch. But there's no chance he's starting Thursday night. There's no chance.
Not if it's his throwing shoulder. That's for sure. It was his throwing shoulder, and then no. Then there's no need. Even if you're the Patriots, why bother? It's not a must-win for you guys for them to win this game. Even if they're 2-2 and Tom Brady comes back in Week 5, it's no emergency situation. I think that's what a lot of people going into the year would have expected them to be along those lines when Brady got back. And then who to say they might not even lose a game the way it's set up with Brady back in the helm. Who knows?
No, part of our discussion was if they can go. This is at the beginning of the season. If they could go 2-2 with Garoppolo, that's a huge victory. That's a huge victory to go 2-2. Now, from a gambling standpoint, though, this game got really, really interesting. I don't think that there's any way without a quarterback that New England wins this game against that Houston defense that's going to come up front. They're going to eat up that offensive line. Houston's got a very nice defensive line. They're only laying up 1.5. That's essentially 2 points. They got to win the game by a field goal.
Well, if you're the Houston Texans and you want to consider yourself a contender in the AFC, you have to win this game. You are not a contender if you cannot beat the Patriots down to their third-string quarterback and no Gronkowski. I don't think he's coming back this week, is he?
No, they said that he had shown some improvement, but I don't think he's coming back. I guess the headline was Gronkowski feeling better, but it's a coach's decision this week. Guess what that coach's decision tells me? There's no way you're putting him on the field with a rookie quarterback. No way. Mm-hmm. Give him one more week to get better. Why send him out there with Jacoby Brissett to get them all killed? No.
Nope. Patriots are. It's almost like they're going to concede this game. Not concede. They're going to come out there and try to win. I mean, I'm not going to accuse them of tanking and not trying to win, but concede in the fact that they're pretty much like, yeah, you know what? It's better just to get there, get everybody healthy. This game is not that important to us. It's a Thursday night game. We're coming on a short week. No need to rush things. You know, and Brady comes back in 2 weeks. We'll have a fully healthy, rested, maybe rested Gronk by then. Then we're ready to get strapped and going. So now,
why bother?
Yeah.
It's why bother. Nobody throws games in the NFL, but this is not something they're going to bend over backwards. They're going to try to win a football game. There's no doubt about it.
That's what. Yes.
But I don't know what they can plug in and what they can stuff into 1 week with Jacoby Brissett, who's got limited work in this offense. I don't know what you're going to try to stuff in, so I don't want to be redundant here, but right away I'm taking the Houston Texans -1.5. I think that is a really nice play for a change. I think you have an opportunity to win this game, 15-10, 14-10, something off the wall and oddballish, but I think it's happening. I think New England's Patriots defense is very good, and Houston is not a bad football team. This is not a bad team at all.
No, they're not. They're not bad. They've won their first two. Granted, they beat a terrible Chicago Bears team week 1, but they had an impressive win at home against the Kansas City Chiefs this past week. So, yeah, if you're the Houston Texans and you, like I said, if you want to be considered a player in the AFC, a team that has a chance, you got to win this. You have to win this game.
Get out to a 3-0 start. That division sucks. It's
terrible.
It sucks.
The Jacksonville Jaguars get that in a second, but they really let me down. This past week.
I'm going to defend them a little bit if I can. They had two very, very tough matchups. The first one, Green Bay at home. Green Bay's a very good football team. Got a hell of an opportunity to win the NFC. They may not win their own division, but Green Bay's a great team.
No shame in losing to the Packers, but going across. I mean, I know the whole West Coast travel. I get that, but they got their shit handed to them. They didn't even.
I think a lot of that's the issues with a young head coach, a young football team, and the inability to travel coming off.
How much longer are they going to be able to use that excuse, though?
Well, as long as they're all under 26.
They should have some young talent. There's such thing as young talent too, refreshed young talent.
With that young talent, you got to have older leadership on the field, and show me where that is in Jacksonville. Show me where there's the veteran on there that can show these guys how to prepare themselves for the long trip, prepare themselves coming off a loss. They don't have that leadership there, and that's
okay. All right, I see that. But at the same time, I'm not saying they're supposed to win the Super Bowl this year, but I'm also thinking that's a game. If you're going to show me you're an improved team, that's kind of a game, in my opinion, with San Diego, with depleted of weapons, a terrible defense. It's a game you got to win. That's a game you should win.
It is. But still, going on the road, there's so much to it. I think Jacksonville doesn't have much of a shot at redemption this week at home against the Baltimore team that's very average. Don't be surprised if Baltimore comes in there and beats them by 3.
I don't know. They could win that game. I think they could win. I think they could win that game because I don't know too much about Baltimore. I don't know how good Baltimore is. I wouldn't be surprised if Jacksonville pulled this one out at home. Like I said, I don't know. The Ravens don't look like they're that impressive to me.
Well, let me throw out something that I've done for years when handicapping football games. And after my put out last week, I don't even want to talk about my final statistics against the spread. But what I've done over the years is I will look at matchups without the line or the over/under anywhere in my line of sight, and I will go down these games and I will try to visualize what I think this score is going to be, and from that I will use a couple other factors to try to work out what that number comes out as. Jacksonville is a home dog against Baltimore on Sunday at 1 point. I don't find that odd. I think that's probably pretty damn accurate, as a matter of fact.
It probably is. It's a close matchup on paper, and it's pretty even. I would actually go on a limb and I like Jacksonville. I think they could win. I think this is a game they'll win because I'm not impressed with what I've seen thus far at Baltimore. I think they squeaked out a win against a not impressive Buffalo Bills team at home week 1, and then week 2 they went into Cleveland and damn near really struggled the entire game and damn near lost to a terrible Cleveland Browns team.